I'm not good enough. They're going to find out I'm a fraud. Why does this always happen to me? I'm just not built for success. Does that sound familiar? That constant nagging inner dialogue that highlights every flaw and predicts every failure before you even start. Stop right there. Your problem isn't bad luck. It's not a lack of talent, and it's certainly not that the world is out to get you. It's the voice in your head. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to shut that voice up permanently. I'm not talking about vague motivation or fluffy affirmations that feel like lies. I'm talking about a specific biological mental shift that will change how you process every single thought you have. If you want to take control of your future, you first have to take control of the frequency your brain is operating on. We need to talk about the invisible enemy. Most people don't actually realize they are suffering from negative thinking because they've convinced themselves they are just being realistic. They believe that by constantly scanning for what could go wrong, they are being smart. They think they are preparing for the worst, but in reality, they are just manifesting it. You have to understand that your brain is a survival machine, not a happiness machine. Its primary job is to keep you alive, not to make you fulfilled. Evolutionarily, we are wired for threat detection. Our ancestors had to worry about predators in the bushes, so the brain developed a negative bias. Today, there are no tigers, but your brain treats a stressful email, a social media comment, or a mistake at work like a life-threatening attack. Negativity disguises itself in your mind as a protective shield. It tells you to stay small so you don't get hurt. It tells you to humble yourself so you don't look like a fool. But this isn't intelligence, it's a trap. Most people don't realize they are negative. They just think they're smart. They are using their imagination to create a prison instead of a vision. This survival wiring is the foundation of negative thinking. But just because it's natural doesn't mean it's useful. The real cost of this mental habit is staggering. Negative thinking is the most expensive thing you can own. It quietly destroys your confidence by eroding your belief in what is possible. It paralyzes your decision making because you become more afraid of the loss than you are excited about the gain. It kills consistency because the moment things get hard, that voice tells you to quit to avoid further embarrassment. Look at two people with the same talent and the same opportunity. One sees a challenge as a death sentence, the other sees it as a data point. Their outcomes will be worlds apart, not because of their skills, but because of their internal narrative. Your thoughts don't just describe your life, they decide it. Every time you entertain a negative thought, you're placing a brick in a wall that keeps you away from your potential. Staying negative is an expensive luxury that you simply cannot afford if you want to achieve anything significant. It affects your health, your relationships, and your bank account. It turns a temporary setback into a permanent state of being. Now, before we fix this, we have to bust a major myth. The advice to just think positive is some of the worst advice you can receive. Forcing yourself to think happy thoughts when you feel like your life is falling apart doesn't work. In fact, it often makes things worse because it creates an internal conflict. Your brain knows when you're lying to it. When you're broke and you tell yourself, I am a millionaire, your subconscious calls your bluff, and the resulting stress actually reinforces the negativity. This is what people call toxic positivity, and it's a recipe for failure. You don't replace negative thoughts by pretending they aren't there. You don't fight them with brute force. You disarm them. You have to learn how to strip these thoughts of their power so they no longer have the ability to trigger an emotional response. We are going to move away from forced positivity and toward objective mindset mastery. Here's the thought-killing framework. This is a 4-step system you can use the moment a negative thought enters your mind. Step 1 is to catch the thought. Most people live their lives on autopilot, reacting to every thought as if it's an absolute truth. You need to develop the awareness to notice the thought the moment it arrives. If you can hear it, you can control it. Think of yourself as a gatekeeper. Not every thought deserves a seat at the table. Step 2 is to label it. This is where you create distance. Instead of saying, I am a failure, you say, I am having the thought that I failed. It sounds simple, but it's a massive psychological shift. When you label the thought, you externalize it. You realize that you are the observer of the thought, not the thought itself. Name it. Say, that's my fear talking, or that's my insecurity trying to protect me. This removes the emotional sting. Step 3 is to challenge it. This is where you use logic versus emotion. Ask yourself, is this a proven fact or just an assumption? What is the actual evidence for this? Usually you'll find that the negative thought is based on a feeling, not a reality. Replace emotional certainty with neutral truth. Step 4 is to replace with power questions. Instead of making a negative statement like, I can't do this, ask a question that forces your brain to search for a solution. Ask, what is one small win I can get right now? Or how can I make this work? Your brain is a supercomputer. If you give it a question, it will work overtime to find the answer. Let's look at a real-world example to see this in action. Imagine you're up for a promotion and you don't get it. The negative thinker says, I knew I wasn't good enough. My boss hates me and I'll never move up in this company. I should just stop trying. This interpretation leads to resentment, low performance, and eventually getting passed over again. Now, let's use the framework. The aware thinker catches that thought and labels it. Okay, I'm having a thought that I'm not good enough because I'm feeling rejected. Then they challenge it. Is it a fact that I'm not good enough? No, I've hit my targets for 3 years. The evidence suggests there was just one better candidate this time. Finally, they use a power question. What specific skill do I need to develop to ensure I am the undeniable choice next time? The situation is the same, but the second person is in total control. They aren't being delusional, they are being effective. Positivity is not about ignoring reality, it's about choosing a perspective that gives you power. A 24-hour mental reset challenge. Over the following 24 hours, catch and rewrite 3 negative ideas. Stop and apply the framework whenever you lose energy or feel anxious. Label, doubt, and power question the thought. It's not about being perfect all day. It's about showing yourself you control your thinking. These small triumphs remodel your brain's neuronal networks. Effective thinking is like developing a new physical structure in your head. I need your commitment now. If you're taking this challenge today, remark reset underneath. Public engagement makes you more accountable and likely to follow through. Most fail at this. Why? They fail because they attempt to be optimistic 24/7. When a negative idea creeps through, they feel like failure and quit. They resist their thoughts rather than observe them. Negative thoughts will emerge, but you can stop them from staying. Control always trumps positivity. The key is a well-managed mind, not a sunny one. Don't believe this is a one-time fix. You must train this muscle. The ultimate goal is identity change. Once thinking differently doesn't make you positive. You become an optimistic thinker by handling challenges differently every time. The framework eventually automates. Your brain will categorize and challenge your notions automatically. You will perceive yourself as unshakable. Repeated actions define you. When you continuously disarm negativity, you naturally gain agency and confidence. From emotional victim to mental energy director. Thoughts are tools. You can build a bridge to your desired life or let them dig a pit you can't escape. Your decision is always available. This video may have changed your thinking. Like and subscribe for more mindset mastery tactics. Everything becomes easier when you control your ideas. Resist that voice, stop the negativity, take the reset challenge, and build your dream life. You have the framework, utilize it.